Is ready to go live. Hey, it is nice. It's nice to be live. We had some issues, y'all. We had some issues getting everybody logged in, but let me tell you, I love having backup plans. So if you didn't know, if you were like, Nina, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. That's okay, girl. I got you. I got you. So I'm actually going to give some people some time to kind of tune in on their Facebook pages and things like that. I have like a YouTube page and things like that. So if you want to go find Neenas Story Law Firm on YouTube, you should be able to easily connect with me. But I want you guys to really tune in to what we got going on. So at the end of the day, I like to talk to people. I like to have real time conversations. And so right now, I'm actually in the process of doing my own marketing since Hoover was being a butthole and it would not let me do what I needed to do to share this with you amazing people. But that's okay, You just you gotta be able to think outside the box. So think outside the box, make sure you're ready. So give me a second to market, y'all. But while I'm doing my own marketing, right? So it is fun, right? Everyone loves it. So I'm actually gonna do a quick trademark commercial and then we'll start. Okay.
Filing a trademark is scary sometimes, and it can stress you out even after you file. Wouldn't it be nice if you had someone to take that on for you? Let's take a little bit of stress off of you when you file your trademark with Neenas Story Law Firm by your side.
Awesome. So I have tried to update the links in all of my different cross platforms. If you do have an issue watching this, it will be recorded. It's going to be on Facebook Live. So you guys are able to ask me as many questions. Unfortunately, I'm not able to have the face-to-face interaction that I was looking forward to, mainly because Hoover doesn't allow people to click a direct link. So I was like, well, I want it to be recorded. And even though I wanted it to be intimate, small space, my Neenas Story Law Firm pages, they are intimate, small spaces. This is also going to be streamed on YouTube. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to learn things directly from me for free. Don't you love that? Learning things for free? That's awesome. So this Trademark That Thursday's presentation by me is actually exclusively catered to the HBCU PreLaw Summit that will be happening next week. It is a free summit put on by Evangeline Mitchell. If you don't know, now you know. I will also be speaking at that. I will speak on how to start your own law firm. So if you're not registered, maybe you should register. It's free. It's free. You are a law student. You're an aspiring law student. Maybe if you're a lawyer, it's a free conference. She puts it on every year in Atlanta, Georgia. And I usually have a chance to contact and communicate with her. So if you're not connected with her, maybe you should probably do that. Look her up, Evangeline Mitchell. You will find a lot of cool things, and you will learn that she puts on a lot of free conferences for you to get the resources that you want. So this Trademark That Thursday presentation is for people that care about those things. So if that's something that you want to do, or if that's something that you're thinking about doing, I want you to think about going to Evangeline Mitchell, right, and looking up HBCU PreLaw Summit. So that's my little bit of verbiage about this conference. That is why I actually put on this Trademark That Thursday. I love y'all. I do a Trademark That Thursday every single time. For Trademark That Thursdays, anything, I do videos for y'all all the time, but this is exclusively for them. I really made this video so that if they were not able to tune in, they could actually just tune in and go back and look at the video that they missed out on, because Hoover, it doesn't always work. Things don't always work the way you want them to work. So this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to get a pen and paper. Yes, pen and paper. I'm making you go back old school. If you got to tune in for class, if you got to do stuff, pen and paper, okay? Your teacher will think you're being studious while you're on virtual class, and you will look studious, but you're not really learning from your class. So give me about an hour of your time during this lunchtime session, okay? All we're going to talk about today is trademarks, and I spent a long hour and a half preparing just to make sure that we had good quality content. Hey, Kendall. Y'all say hey to Kendall. Kendall's one of my interns, y'all. She is lit. So anyways, I want you guys to think about it like this. Okay, what is trademarks? Why do you even do Trademark That Thursday? So this is the breakdown. I'm going to tell you a little bit about trademarks. We're going to do a one-on-one for about 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes is up, I will give you a basically rundown of what I do, who I am, and what other things that I have going on. you can ask questions. You can interrupt me in the comments anytime you want. I will put your stuff up in real time and we will talk about it. I am not promoting this on my personal page. If you don't tune in, you're missing out, okay? So you just got to have my notifications turned on or you're going to miss out on great quality information. And I will not be sharing this on my personal page as a promotional tool. So if you would like to share it, cool beans, you do it, but I'm not going to do it. This is exclusively for the people who took the time to listen in today. All right. So this is a master class about trademarks. So if you have interest in trademarks, this is something you want to do with your life, do it. Do it. Take that time to actually know and learn about trademarks today, right now. All right. So if you've been with me since the beginning, which was way back in, I think, May. Okay, so if you've been with me since May, then you understand exactly what I'm about to do, okay? I'm about to pull it out. What am I going to pull out? You know what it is. It's my original post, all right? So this is the post that started everything up. I posted this. Of course, I didn't post it with that image to begin. I was actually having a picture of me standing outside Starbucks looking happy, excited. So if you go back through my app, Neena, and I'll put it in the ticker. But if you go back through my scroll and you look at my Instagram page, this post started it all. It led to the shares, the likes, the subscribes, the speaking engagements, all of that. Because I said, you know what? I want to do something about Thursdays. I was trying to put words together, trying to relaunch my firm because nobody knew apparently that I did entrepreneurship stuff. So it's cool because you get a chance to have the opportunity to teach people, but at the same time, you get a chance to show them how you have grown. So since May, my phone has not stopped ringing for trademarks, trademark this, speak about trademarks, talk about it. The reason being is that I took this great class with somebody called Dana Thomas. If you don't know her, you should check her out because she is wonderful. So I took this class that kind of helped me revamp everything that I was doing with marketing because I was doing it wrong. And you can do marketing wrong for your firm. You can't. You can put out stuff thinking that you great and you put out amazing information and you're not, right? You're catching attitudes with your clients, you're talking down to them, all that stuff. So this whole thing started because I wanted to better engage with the clients that I do want to have in the future. But in general, there are people who ask me questions all the time. And I was like, I know stuff. So I might as well just tell you the stuff that I know so you can understand a little bit. So you're not as lost as I was when I first started out this thing. And I didn't have nobody to help me and nobody to walk me through these steps. And I was just like struggling through the bus. So Dana Thomas, look her up, Dana Thomas Law on Instagram. She is lit. She is the reason why I have great mentorship in my life. I have a whole intellectual property community because of her. And I have people around me that are skilled and not so skilled and all of the above. So we got multiple variations of experience and all of those experienced people take the time to talk to me and give me insights anytime I get confused. And she does too. So if you don't know, if you know me, you know I done sent you something about her all day, every day. So if you don't know, you know. So that's that free promo. Hey, Dana, how you doing, girl? When you see this, just know I love you. I know I love you, girl. I love you. So what is a trademark? That is where we're going to start. What is a trademark? Trademark is just a word, phrase, a symbol, sometimes a design, okay? But, we'll get into that, that identifies the source of your good. When you are looking for trademarks and you come to me and you're like, Neena, I want a trademark. I want you to think about source. All right. So hold that word for the rest of this conversation. The source of your goods is a trademark. Okay. That is what you're looking for when you think of trademark. So if anybody asks you, hey, Neena, or hey, you, what's a trademark? I want you to be able to say, you know what? That is the source of your goods, okay? So if you got a trademark, I got a trademark, everybody got a trademark. The one thing that I want you to remember throughout this entire presentation is that it's the source. So I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna ask you about it because you done seen some trademarks, okay? So I want you guys to think about that as you move forward, okay? So first thing is that is your source, okay? The other thing is really cool, and I like to learn weird knowledge. So one thing that I know about trademarks is that there are two types. Goods and services, and there are other types, but the two that are mainly important are the goods and services. And one, for goods, you call it a trademark. For services, you actually call it a service mark. And that's crazy to me because when you think about goods and services and you think about the things that you put out there, when it's a service mark, that is what it would be referred to when you're talking about that I got a trademark. If you want to sound knowledgeable and you got a trademark for your services that you provide, that would be a service mark. Okay, so that'd be an SM. okay? And you would always put the registered R no matter what for everything. So that's important to keep in mind. If you want people to know that you know what you're talking about, make sure that if you do have a trademark that's already registered in your name, you know what to call it. It's a trademark for goods, service mark for services, but they're all referred to as trademark. That's why you hear that, and that's why it's around. So let's play a game. And right now, I don't have as many people able to. I think some people have some technical difficulties, so it's okay. So let's play a game. I want you guys to look around your room. Look around and find something, okay, that's trademarked or registered trademark around you. There is something in your room, in your space, that has a trademark affiliated with it, okay? And when you do watch this video, okay, whoever you are, whoever's listening out there in the universe, I want you guys to real time tell me what exactly you have around you. What is it? What is the brand's name? Okay. And I want you to take that time. Okay. So I'm going to give you about a few minutes to do that. Okay. I'm going to take myself off video and everything. And I want you guys to do that. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a 30-second timer. Okay. So during this 30-second timer, I want you to figure out where the trademarks are in your room. So come back to me in 30 seconds and you'll see me again. I'm back. So did you find that trademark item in your room? Did you figure it out? What is it? Let me know in the comments and things like that. It's cool. All right. I want you guys to remember that trademarks are all around us. That is why I like it so much, because it is constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. It never stays the same. Not once. It is something that is shifting. Okay. And the reason why is because we come up with words like BAE and AF and all those other amazing, cool, different, quirky things, okay? And that is really difficult, okay? But trademark attorneys, examining attorneys aren't always exposed to culture, cultural reference. The word BAE is not necessarily something they may be familiar with, okay? So they may get it confused. They may not understand that BAE is not used across the board for the same things. It can be used for different things and still have a significance in distinction. Okay, because there's lawyer bays, there's officer bay. I found an officer bay the other day on Facebook. So remember, people can learn how to associate the words based on what you teach them. Okay, and so a lot of what the trademark attorney does with the examining attorney is, if there is a client they have, right, and they really, really are adamant about the trademark, and it's a good one, right, because it's going viral, everybody knows it. Choreography is something that most people don't know can be trademarked. Things like that. But if it's going viral, if it's becoming big, okay, and you're the one who is like the mastermind behind it all, Black Lives Matter, no one knew that that was going to become a big hashtag, right? But because it did, people now use it all the time on different shirts, but they're not necessarily calling the people who created it and asking for permission, right? Because the one thing that I love about trademarks is that it does give you immense power to tell people you can't do something. The one thing that's frustrating about trademarks is that you do have to enforce your rights and privileges that you have. So the Black Lives Matter movement would have to enforce their rights to whatever somebody else is doing, like for the shirts and stuff that people are making. A lot of people do this, right? Maybe tell me if you've seen this, or you've seen someone take like the college t-shirt or something and put your college name on your shirt, and they sell it for profit, right? Because they can figure out how to do that. Well, what they're doing is infringing on that college's trademark and their copyright, right? So they're actually already participating in trademark infringement. But the university is not going to necessarily go after them, so they don't really worry about it, right? But do you want to be in a situation where it blows up, right? And you're making millions of dollars off that stuff, and you never took the time to get a licensing deal with the university so you can sell that and still make a profit, all right? Because with licensing deals, and that's what trademarks allow you to do, right? When you have a trademark, you can actually license your name, say, to other people so they can be a certified or a verified vendor of your product, right? And then you're still the source, but they can now sell it for profit, and then they give you a cut of whatever their profits are. And that's what trademark is, and that's why it's considered an asset, because you can use it in licensing deals and things like that in the future. But right now, you're just trying to get one, okay? So we've talked about what they are. The different definitions that I want you guys to remember are these, and I get this a lot with clients. Unregistered trademarks are common law trademarks. A lot of people have come to me saying, you can mail a package or something to yourself and you get your trademark. That's okay. Look, use in commerce does not have to be manufactured. Put it on a website, sell it, start a signature event, make a website, create, advertising materials that fit the parameters of what the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is looking for. Do those things, but don't send packages to yourself and say that you're creating a trademark, because let me tell you, when you create a trademark, that means that most people know. If you sent a package to yourself and nobody else is buying your stuff and you're the only one who's done anything, they have a very tight restriction on interstate commerce. And even though they do allow the same state, so it can all happen within Alabama, right? And they'll still allow you to go get a trademark. You can't just be shipping it to yourself. Okay, so if that's your game plan, your strategy, what you're doing right now for trademarks, maybe don't do that. Okay, so this is what you want to understand. When you have a common law trademark, this is what happens. Okay, this is that you did it, you have a business for it, everybody knows you for this source name. Okay, and you've made it. Okay, you've made that. If you sell t-shirts, you got tags that are attached to your t-shirts that say XYZ brand, okay, or such and such brand product. Okay, so that is something that most people don't know, that if you're going to say you have a trademark in something, you can't not prove it, well. So a lot of people come to me with t-shirt ideas, okay, because t-shirts are blowing up right now. How many of y'all just buy a t-shirt because it's got a statement on there that you feel good? Everyone thinks that they're going to come up with that amazing t-shirt. You're welcome, Shannon. Welcome, girl. That's what I'll be here for. So I'm not even through the first slide. Isn't that crazy? How cool that is just to know that stuff. But let's get to the second slide so I can kind of finish talking about what I wanted you guys to know. And this is all from the first. So you can find this here on my Instagram that is in the ticker below. Okay, so I'm only giving you information that I already have out there. Okay, I'm just giving you some supplemental stuff that they don't get on my Instagram page. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. So registered trademarks they help you protect against someone stealing your exact brand. All I want you to remember for a registered trademark is that it allows you to tell people that they cannot tell you to take something down. What happens to a lot of my clients is they go ahead and they build this business, this brand, and then they come back later and they find out they got a cease and desist. Okay, if you've ever heard of a cease and desist, all that is a letter that says, we've got something that says we own this intellectual property and you using our name. Now, you could probably prove that you were the first one to use it, but you're going to have to litigate that. Litigating that is going to take about $3,000, maybe even more money out of your pocket, okay, just to litigate that you were the first one to use it, to get a lawyer to prove everything, to go back and forth on a TTAP hearing and actually talk about different things that you're infringing on, okay, and you don't want to be in that situation. So registered trademarks save you from all of that headache. I mean, how would you like it if you built a whole brand, made millions of dollars? What if you were Supercent and you didn't trademark, okay? She made millions of dollars in 60 minutes, 90 minutes, okay? What if you didn't trademark that, right? And somebody else came by and said, well, I have a registered trademark for whatever you do. Now, you're going to have superior rights because you used it, right? But filing first has certain practical advantages, and we'll talk about it later. But that's one thing I want you guys to understand the difference. And unregistered is common law. It gives no notice to anybody except for your geographic region. So even if you do win that you used it first, okay, you're going to be restricted in your area sometimes. And you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be in a situation where you're not restricted and you're able to move forward and take those steps, okay? And that's really, really difficult at first, okay? It's really difficult to take the time to register your trademark because you don't really know what you want to do sometimes. You don't know if that's a business name you want to stick with for life. But a lot of people, they build a whole brand, okay? They know that's what they want to stick with. On onset, when you file that LLC paperwork, that's what you want, right? follow it up with a trademark. Follow it up. If it's something trendy, if it's not just your name, that such and such law firm, like Neena Story law firm, probably isn't worth me going through that process of, but I went ahead and, reserved the domain names and things like that just in case. So think about those things as you're continuing to build. My example that I like to use is McDonald's versus McDowell's. McDowell's is actually infringing on McDonald's trademark, right? It's in Coming to America, the movie, but you can't go make a McDowell's, even though you like the movie and you want to make a Coming to America themed restaurant. If you do a McDonald's can't find you, okay? They will find you and they will, probably take you to the thing because, Burger King, they've tried this. All these renegade Burger Kings, renegade McDonald's, they've tried this and they always get in trouble because they know McDonald's exists. You can't go outside and not see a McDonald's, okay? Maybe if you're like in the middle of nowhere, but usually you can't go outside and not see a McDonald's. So everything puts you on notice, okay? So that's something that I really wanted you guys to know. It's the difference between unregistered and registered. I'm about to blow your mind. Are you guys ready to have your mind blown? So this is actually how you can tell the difference between an unregistered trademark and a registered trademark. It is the TM versus the circle R. So if you see a TM next to someone's name, that means they have an unregistered trademark. They are in the process of filing, okay? So don't try to be, low down and go file anyways. If you see a TM, they're in the process of trademarking, okay? But if that's a brand that you did first or whatever, and you want to have competing applications, cool. Go ahead and file it. But TM is actually an unregistered trademark. If you want to have your company have a registered trademark, what you're looking for is that circle R. Okay, that is a registered trademark that has nationwide protection, that puts people on nationwide notice. Now, what it does not do, and people commonly come to me for this, right? It does not protect you from people in China. You have to do something different for international trademarks. We do not cover international trademarks at my firm. It is entirely too expensive, but I can refer you to people, okay, that do international trademarks if you really want to go that route. But I will tell you, for China, Michael Jordan actually had to litigate for 8 years to get rights over their trademark issue because they had something called Kyo-Kidan, and I think it means like Jordan in Chinese. Like the Chinese government is real weird with their trademark stuff because they basically said that you got to translate, it's got to translate to mean the exact same thing as yours for you to be able to make a legitimate case. So Michael Jordan, who's super famous, only because he was super famous did he finally overcome and win in China. But we're not super famous, right? We just the average Joe, okay? I am not afraid to admit that I'm the average Joe, okay? And my name being trademarked in China, they gonna do it, okay? They gonna use my name in China and I'm just gonna have to be okay with it. Until I become Michael Jordan, okay, I can't go back and forth with them on whatever I do for myself. But what I will say is think about that. Keep that in mind. So if you got something fashion related, just remember, in China, they can still go ahead and make a knockoff of your product and boom, if it becomes booming. So you always want to understand that trademarking in the US, the USPTO, is restricted to the US. If you want to go outside of the US, it's something called the Madrid Protocol. So free tips that wasn't planning on sharing, but that just make me feel so great. And I just love when y'all interact with the page. So I appreciate y'all so far giving me some shares and letting me know that this is good information because it is. It's for you too. So that's really important. The other thing that I want you guys to know about definitions, okay? This is all about the strength of your trademark. Don't come to me, okay? I love you, but don't come to me with a generic trademark name. And that means don't call your place nail salon if you do nails, okay? Because what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, I'm sorry, nail salon is taken. Okay, so most people do not come to me. I never have that issue, but don't come to me with nail salon for nails. Also, try to avoid coming to me for descriptive. So like, if it's like, talons are us or something, like that's creative, okay? But don't come to me with descriptive either because it doesn't help your trademark application. Let me tell you why. Because these are words that are commonly going to be used. So if you know in your industry, like, I don't know, in the hair industry, I believe it's like, slay, like Slade or whatever. So people are probably putting that out there, okay? But a lot of people don't know that that's a descriptive word for when your hair is done, okay? When it's really, really done. So you might actually luck out if you're the first one to file for that particular term for hair, okay? But if it's like cheesy for pizza, Everyone knows that's for pizza. Okay, everyone knows, like hot and cheesy. You know, that's something that I think Little Caesars even uses. So don't come to me with those because it doesn't help you, right? It gives you more barriers. You're more than likely going to get a negative, nah, you can't do this, fam, response from the trademark office. You want to create things that most people just don't associate with it. And usually you can use like common words, okay? So you can use common words and you'll go straight, to publication if it's common words that most people don't associate with the product that you're trying to sell or the service you're trying to sell. So think about that. Also, try to avoid suggestive, okay? Just because Netflix is a great word or whatever, it means that you guys about to watch the flicks, right? So you're suggesting within the name of the product or the source that you're going to create is flicks. Flicks are a slang word for pictures, videos, whatever. All we finna do on Netflix is watch flicks, okay? So don't use anything that's suggestive, basically that suggests what we're gonna do. Descriptive describes, and it's a common description. And then generic is the common term, okay? So nails is the common term for nail salon. So if you name your nail salon Nails, all right, I'm just letting you know you're gonna have some problems. Okay, if you call your place nail salon, such and such as nail salon, it's gonna have some problems. You might be okay because you got your name in it, but more than likely they're gonna be like, it's generic. Okay, so don't come with those three. The ones that I really like, the ones that you'll really like, and the ones that will be fun for you to make, right, are arbitrary, and those are basically they're a word that exists in the English language, but the meaning is different. What example do I have? You guys know your favorite, not my favorite because I'm an Android girl, but it's an Apple. Okay, Apple is for technology, electronics. No one ever associated apples with that before, right? So you can create something and be like, yeah, but I want to sell XYZ. And it's never been done before. You can do that. You can use words in the English language that have a different meaning, all right? And then you can sell something completely out of out of the world, not even normally associated. So a lot of people try to do plays on words. Don't do that. You're an original. Don't be a copy, okay? Don't copy nobody else's plays on words. Make your own word and redefine it, okay? You can redefine words, I always thought about, telling people different words meant something different, like showing them different images with it. I always thought about basically backwards word association, where you kind of mess up people's associations and see what that effect was. But I figured that would probably not be a good skill to do, but it's good for trademark. So think about that. The last one is fanciful. Fanciful means you made it up. That means you took this word and combined it. Did y'all know what Google meant before Google said it was Google? Don't y'all use Google all the time? Just Google it, girl. Do you think Google was a word in the English language beforehand? So this is it. Google it, Xerox, all those companies, they just created something, right? And now we use it all the time. Yeah, go ahead and Xerox that for me. Like, you don't know why you're using it. You don't even know why that's become adopted as a word in the language. But they were able to get you to take their made up word and make it known because they are the source for that. And that's really cool. And that's something that you should think about when you're trying to figure out how to come to anybody with your trademark and be like, hey, girl, should I get that's what you need to be thinking about, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is first to file, all right? So a lot of people come to me and it's like, Neena, what about if I have first use? Okay, first use is great, okay? Even in the trademark office, they'll say that first use is great. Okay, but I want you to understand there are practical advantages to filing first. If you file first correctly and they look at the filing dates, because they look at the filing dates of the applications, not the use dates. The use dates come into play when someone files like opposition or says, hey, that's my trademark, or hey, that's mine, XYZ. Otherwise, they don't usually come into play, okay? So usually they look at the filing dates of the application. So if you file first, okay, before Joe Blow over here, then you're going to have a superior claim, at least on the filings, okay? So that does give you some practical advantages, and they do look at those dates really extensively. And if you do everything right, it's not necessarily going to be to your detriment. What's going to be to your detriment is if you take someone's basically their first in use and you just kind of made it up and you just kind of put it together and you don't build a brand around it, then you file it and you get a trademark application, you think you're good. You're not good, okay? It doesn't always cover that way. So that's important to keep in mind. It does not always cover you. The next thing that I want you guys to talk about is that notice, okay? So notice is something that's huge. Notice is about no one can say they didn't know it was yours. So when you file, okay, this is what I want you guys to do. And I want you to do it right now. I want you to take that time to do this, okay? I want you to type in uspto.gov/trademark. And I want you to actually go through the process of searching through the trademark, searching through their trademark system, and then clicking something called freeform. And I just want you to pick your favorite brand or whatever. And you can do this on your own time. You can pause this video when it does distribute for the live video after, and just kind of let me know. Go back, watch this video, and do that for me, okay? Pause the video, go and do that. So search trademarks, okay? Click that link, then click the link that says search our trademark database, and then I want you to click the link that says freeform. And I want you to put in parentheses whatever brand you know, okay? So maybe you know Super Sense, the crayon case. Maybe you know Black Girls, therapy for Black girls. Whatever it is, go look it up. It's a trademark for it, okay? All the brands that you love to buy, that you love to listen in on, everything, they thought about this way before other people. They trademarked it. And the reason why is because they understand. They don't want anybody to take what it is that they have come up with, that is their, what I like to call intellectual, what you be thinking, property, what you own, okay? So that's something, what you be thinking and how you own it. And how you think and how you own things are very important. And they understood it was critical. So therapy for Black girls and the crayon case and Starbucks. Go look at Starbucks. They got like 776 records out there of filings. Okay, 776 filings just for Starbucks. Okay, they trademark a lot. Okay, so they understand the importance of trademarks. Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to do, because you're going to pause the video and come back to me. Is how long do they last, okay? And this is really important because most people don't tell you this, okay? They last as long as you use it and you file accordingly. There are 2 checkpoints. There is another checkpoint at the 6-year period, and another checkpoint at the 10-year period. And they will check whether or not you're still using this, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be canceled, abandoned, or things like that, unless you can prove that you have like some certified reason for not using this. And oh, thanks. I forgot to show you, girl. Thank you, Shayna, for giving me the feedback, girl. It helped me, just energized me, and I just kept going, but it energized me. But those are those 2, and it's called a Section 8 and a Section 9. Okay, so Section 8 will happen at the 6-year period. Section 9 will actually happen at the 10-year period. So I want you guys to keep that in mind and think about what exactly you're going to do at the 8 and at the 6 and the 10-year periods, because that's important. Okay. I ask my clients, where do you see your product in 2 or 3 years? I ask my clients, where do you see your product down the road? Because if you say you're going to do this, you got to keep doing it. And guess what? You got to file again. Okay, so there are filing fees. You do have to file again. This isn't like a file and you're done. You file and you good for 6 years. Hopefully you build that $1 million brand, which is what we're hoping for. All right. And then at that 6-year mark, that filing fee is nothing. Okay. And that's why Starbucks can say, I got 776 filings, because it's nothing to them. Okay. It's nothing for them to go ahead and file those 776 filings, because who cares? Okay. I'm getting my stuff protected. So I'll file everything. Okay. So if you're not at that place in your business yet, that's okay. But think about that. If you are not thinking that you're going to use this for 6 years and 10 years, don't trademark it. Don't do it. Okay. This is pouring cement in something that could last forever. You want something that you feel like is going to make $1 million. And that's something that you have to check with your own self-esteem. Okay. That's not me. Okay, that's not me, because I'm going to believe in you regardless. Okay, this is your self-esteem telling you that it's going to make $1 million. And you got to tell yourself that every single day. Otherwise, why trademark? Why even go through this process? Because you got to build this brand. Okay, you have to do the work. And a lot of my clients that come to me, that are actually official clients, they do the work. They spend that time coming up with social media content and copy, and they do it in a way that engages their customers. Okay, you got to build the brand. You got to make yourself known. I've had people that say, this is my 10,000 sale and I'm ready to trademark. Okay, you will get there. Okay, you will get there. Okay, but you can't get there if you don't see it for yourself right now, while you're still only selling 10 units. Okay, you will sell 10,000 units one day, but you have to believe that before you even start. Don't come to me. there. Okay, don't come to me there, because I cannot manufacture that confidence for you. Okay, only you can manufacture that confidence. And it starts within. It starts right here inside of you, believing that it could last forever. Tell yourself your trademark could last forever. Okay, and that's super, super exciting. The other thing that I want you guys to do before I reveal the answers, I want only wrong answers. Okay, what things do you think are not trademarkable? What things do you think? I want the wrong answers. What is it? Trademarkable. Give me wrong answers only, just like you do with all the other stuff. What is not trademarkable? So I want you guys to put out at least one or two. So again, I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds. I'll come back and hopefully you guys have thought of some things that are not trademarkable. So put it in the comments. I'm gonna put you on 30 seconds. I'll disappear for a second, but I'll be back. Awesome. I'm back. I know y'all missed me. I lost one in the process, but it's cool. 30 seconds is a long time when you're actually waiting instead of actually doing the, dancing in the background like I am. But that's something to keep in mind. So 30 seconds should give you enough time. And again, you can go back and pause this video. But I want you to answer in the comments when you do listen to this, only wrong answers. Only wrong answers. That's it. Okay. And when you answer those only wrong answers, I will finally give you the answer. So pause this video and put all of the wrong answers in the comments, okay? And then go back and see what the right answers are, okay? So for those who did pause the video and did do this exercise when they do listen to it later, I will really, really appreciate you. And, maybe there'll be something out there, in the comment world. Maybe there's something that we do just for people who comment and engage. I like engagement. I like rewarding people who do engagement. So that's just the things that I like to do. So since you guys have waited, this is content that may be trademarked. This is not an exhaustive list, okay? There is way more things that you need to trademark. There are way more things that you're going to have to do later on in your life and in your career. Everything that you are trying to get done, everything that you want to put out there, but these are some things that come up all the time. Your business name, your business logo, your blog, your podcast title, the slogan, app names, your name, things that you cannot trademark are like a t-shirt, okay? But you can do a t-shirt line, okay? If you're going to put out a line of t-shirts with this name, as long as it's not emblazoned across the front, you're okay, all right? You can even sell chicken tenders if you want, okay? You can have a chicken tenders line, okay? I just learned about that in the trademark training that I went through. So, some things are just ingrained in your head, and I will never forget the, hot tenders or tender something, that they were just showing me that could work. You can also trademark, like a pizza place, a name for your business, the pizza place, that you guys want everybody to come to. So it's all about understanding that you can trademark a lot of things, but think about it like this, okay? Remember what I told you at the beginning: a word, a phrase, a symbol, or a design, sometimes even choreography, okay? So, you got those viral dance moves, maybe, okay? Maybe. Some things are in the patent world, but some things do fall under the trademark, guys. Same with fashion. If you guys do pay attention to Christian Louis Vuitton, they trademarked that red sole heel, okay? So if you have anything in the fashion industry, you can trademark some things. At first, they actually did not trademark it. They abandoned the application, and then they waited for 5 years, okay? There's a rule about 5 years in use, and then they went under and applied under that rule. So there's a strategy to this, okay? There's a way to get your foot in the door, literally and figuratively. There's a way to get your foot in the door, but you do have to be able to understand that maybe you need help. Maybe you can't do this by yourself. Even though the internet makes it seem like you can do anything, don't discount those people out there with the law degree. Don't discount those people who've taken the time to study this code, okay? Because it is an extensive code. You didn't even know Section 8 and Section 9 of the trademark code before I told you it. I'm pretty sure, I'm absolutely certain that you didn't. So if you didn't know that, okay, those are the filing deadlines, okay? Those are the filing deadlines and the sections that refer to the filing deadlines in trademark law. So if you didn't know that, you probably don't know a whole lot of other things that are very important and critical for your application having some type of successful interaction, okay? So maybe, just maybe, if you want a strategy for your business, consider talking to a lawyer, okay? And even in the trademark, if you go to the USPTO website, they actually have a whole section that refers you to talking to a lawyer. The same thing if you call the examining attorney on your case or whatever registration you file. If you ask too many questions, they will tell you to consult a lawyer. Okay, so think about that when you're thinking about what should I get trademarked and who can I. You cannot talk to the examining attorney like your homegirl. Okay, your homegirl got to be a lawyer. Or your homeboy got to be a lawyer, okay? I don't want to leave the men out. But, you know, I got a lot of women friends in intellectual property a lot more recently. I got to meet more men in intellectual property. So if you guys know guys in intellectual property, let me know because I only know a few. So keep it in mind that it's important for you guys to get your stuff trademarked, but don't do it by yourself if you ain't got to. I mean, I'm not trying to file my taxes. I don't know. I just call my CPA, okay? So you call people when you need help. So those are things to keep in mind that when you're trying to find contract that needs to be trademarked. So you guys know this is my favorite one to talk about. Again, this was a very fun first post for me. Again, this is my first post. I'm going through my first post with you and giving you supplemental information. So this is real. You can find it on my Instagram in real time. And there's even more nuggets and information. So go to my Instagram. It's in the ticker at the bottom. Very simple information to follow. All right, so this is the fun one that I love to go and analyze, and I got some more supplemental information for you for that. So for this one, okay, particularly is about Beyonce. So you can trademark a name. Beyonce did trademark Blue Ivy, okay? So if you don't know nothing about Beyonce or you a Beyonce stan, you better know that Beyonce trademarked her daughter's name for a baby product line. Okay, and she trademarked it using something that I like to tell people about, which is something called an intent to use, which means she's going to do it in the future, not she's doing it right now. And so when it was published for opposition, there was one lady who has something called Blue Ivy events for wedding planning, and she thought that those things were confusingly similar. Okay, you know what they said? Nah, homie, that's not even similar. But you know, I just believe it's because it's Beyonce. And they're like, girl, ain't nobody gonna confuse you with Beyonce's child. Stop that. But that is something to keep in mind that even a regular Joe can oppose and possibly be successful. If you pay attention, I think Nicki Minaj just won a copyright infringement case about certain things. So you guys can go up against the celebrities, but make sure you come correct because their team is tight, okay? Their evidence is flawless, okay? So keep that in mind. Attorneys help, but it's better for you to actually have something pre-filed. So if you beat Beyonce to trademark in Blue Ivy, you probably been eyed, but you didn't, okay? So you got to understand where you fall, okay? Even though Blue Ivy events has been in use for a long time, they didn't do anything for baby product lines. They're not the same type of business, okay? So no one's going to confuse Blue Ivy, the product line for babies, with Blue Ivy events for babies, okay? There's no events for babies that I know that Beyonce is starting to do, but she might, okay? So keep that in mind when you're trying to think about what you should do with your name, okay? And names are trademarkable, okay? If it's available, trademark your name for something. I don't know what you want to be known for, but you know, names are something that most people aren't going to have, and you have a unique name, maybe that becomes the name that's associated with the brand, okay? That can go on all of the stuff and whatever it is you want to sell. And that's a way to get around the strength argument that we talked about earlier. And if y'all can name the 5 strengths, and that means you got to go back, rewind this video, and remember, write it down. I told you get pen and paper. You don't listen. But that, if you can remember those things, and the first person to send me those, maybe there'll be something at the end of this video. Last but not least, I want you guys to remember this and keep this in the back of your mind, is that you can trademark both. If you notice, if you looked up Starbucks and you did my USPTO activity, then you notice that Starbucks trademarked both their name and their logo and all of their logos. So if you get more logos or variation logos or 30th anniversary logos, they trademark it all of it. Okay. And so I say all that to say, because at the end of the day, this isn't about whether or not I know a lot about trademark law. This is about whether or not you know enough about it to be able to do it by yourself. And I personally, if I don't know something, I always ask for help. So that's how I am in my practice. That's how I am in general. So that's why I wanted to kind of do this for a lot of people who come to me and they're like, Neena, I need to know about this. Look, you got to look this stuff up. There's a lot of code, okay? You got to read it. I mean, it's hard, okay? I'm not even going to lie. It's hard for me sometimes, but you got to make it like a project. I got to give myself a daily celebrity to kind of go through and analyze the figures out. Now, I said I was going to be 30 minutes. Clearly, I went to 45. There weren't a lot of questions, so I was able to put even more information in there than I had originally planned on it. So now I'm going to take this time to kind of talk to you a little bit about my journey, how I got here, what else that I do, and things that you can kind of tune in and plug in. So one thing that I want you to know that I do, okay, that's really important, okay? So I'm going to actually switch. You're going to see the switch in real time. It's going to be really dope, okay? So one thing that I do is something called Dear Future Lawyer, okay? So Dear Future Lawyer is my book, okay? It's out. Okay, so if you go on Amazon, you can actually find it. Dear Future Lawyer is kind of how I got started, how a lot of people knew me about helping people. But I actually started Dear Future Lawyer under Neena the Last brand. So Neena the Last brand is the actual brand. The book is called Dear Future Lawyer. So if you get a chance, go on Amazon, go on dearfuturelawyer.com, and you'll be able to find that great information. And as you can see, our logo is at the top of this video, and some other stuff is in the back. I'm not going to show it to you because it's all secret, whatever. But there are like things that you can use for school, class, planners, things like that. There are also t-shirts. I believe there's like a second book, a guidebook that goes along with something that I recently created called the Law Sister Circle, which is a safe space for minority women in law. So if you're interested in that, you know, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is below at Neena_Ronnie, and I will send you that information directly so you can be a part of this wonderful community of women who believe in affirming and making people feel great. So that's something that I started back in 2018. And then I was able to develop the Law Sister Circle actually during COVID quarantine. And I was like, I'm tired of being in groups where I can't affirm women to be okay with being vulnerable, talk about their faults, talk about their failures. I want to be a part of a group like that. And you know, if you can't make people do it, you got to create it. So that's what I did. So that was one thing. But this isn't my original story. My original story actually is here, Step 123 Mentor for Life Initiative. So that's step123mentor.org. That is actually the first business that I ever formed. Okay, y'all. So step123mentor.org is so special to me because this is what happened. When I was 8, okay, 8, I'm not kidding. I was 8 years old. I actually came up with a step 1, 2, 3, like this business model. I wrote it down and tried to figure out how to pitch it. By the time I think I got to high school, I actually pitched it, but I had been coming up with ideas like this when I was 8 years old. And I came up with kind of like step 1, 2, 3 process to helping kids and mentoring them and getting them to their next step. And I finally got to, I think, my second year of law school. And I was coming to the end, and I went to this conference and actually spoke at it. It was actually the conference I mentioned at the very beginning, but it was the one that was in DC. So I think it's the Diversity PreLaw conference that's in DC. That was at Howard Law. And so I was speaking. I gave a diversity talk about the importance of diversity and leadership development. Afterwards, I told them to come up to me. They needed a mentor, and I got you. Well, all of them came up to me, and all of them needed mentors. And I was like, God damn it. I could really do this. I'm a connector, because if you guys do your Gallup strength survey, that's what I did. I connected people. So I actually decided, and I got some people from my law school. I got my family, like my mama, my best friend, and a few other people on board, and we formed this nonprofit. And not only did we form this nonprofit, we have sustained this nonprofit since 2016. So September of 2016 to now. Okay, so we are now in September of 2020. So it's officially almost 4 years doing this organization. And funny enough, if you can see in the background, and if you kind of stalk my social media, you probably know about this. But this is actually my love child, my thing that we did this year because of COVID, called the Virtual STEM Summer Camp, okay? And we did 6 weeks, right? We did robotics, we did coding, we did, I believe it was medical COVID, we did patent law, we did mathematics, and we did leadership. And we did that for free, okay? Now, next year's is not gonna be for free. This was our like flagship year, and we were trying to get a lot of data, but we actually got a major sponsor. AT&T of Alabama is actually gonna sponsor next year's thing, and they already started. So if you know people that want their kids to get that type of mentorship. We were actually able to focus on about 10 kids, and 8 of those kids actually were faithfully at camp every single day almost. And we were able to give out more than 50% in scholarships. So everything that was donated, more than that was given out in scholarships. More than 50% was given out in scholarships. And that's what we did, because we wanted to do something that allowed parents to have something for their kids in the summer. Okay, so these are things that I was interested in that I did. And of course, we got to get back to the original, why you guys came here, the law firm. Okay, so the law firm is a love child of mine. I actually, if you don't know my story, I failed the bar. So funny enough, I failed the bar the first go round. So back in 2017, I was waiting, and I got my email, because they send the emails that you failed, I think like before they send the emails that you passed. So, or vice versa, I don't know. I got an email that I failed, and I just boo-hooed, y'all. I cried like a baby. I cried, and it was rough. It was rough for me, because for me, I was looking at it from the perspective of, I've done what I needed to do. I enrolled in Kaplan. I did what I was supposed to do. I even got those critical pass cards, all that stuff, y'all. And I came up this close, right, to the finish line. I was like, man, can I do some extra credit, something? Like, pass me on through, please, Lord. Don't make me have to do this again. But now I say, please, Lord, don't make me have to do this during COVID, because I realize that y'all who do this during COVID, y'all are the true MVPs, because I was already freaking out with just the bar exam. So if I had to think about the bar exam and dying from COVID, I just don't know. So kudos, hats off to y'all, because you guys are really, truly like innovators, and you're actually going to be even better than me. Like when you get out there, you're going to be even better than me, because you went through the hardest time possible to kind of pass this hard ass exam. It's hard. And you actually survived. Okay. So remember that you actually survived that. Okay. So let me take off this share screen so I can like get real with y'all and talk to y'all for a second, because y'all need to see my lovely face. And there's my dad, y'all. He passed away last year, but I just keep him by me all the time. But I say all that to say, look, it is hard out here. It was very hard for me to run my practice. My first year, I made $80. Okay, I'm not lying to you. I'm really not. I got one person to pay for one consultation. And back then, my consultations were $80. They are not $80 now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But I got one person to take a chance on me, and they paid me $80. Okay. Nobody else paid me any money. No organizations gave me any money. Nobody appointed me for anything. So I spent my first year in practice. Okay. So I hit the ground running in April 2018. When I got that, you passed the bar and you did everything you needed to pass. Boom. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get my malpractice insurance. I'm going to get XYZ. Boom, boom, boom. Got it all. Okay. Secured all of it. And then I went to work. I went to meeting every judge that I could, talking to every attorney that I could. If you are part of the HBCU PreLaw Summit, which is what I am doing this for, y'all, then you need to be networking. Okay, everyone needs to know you, especially in your area. Okay, but you can network with a lot of people. The speakers, you can literally just go click the attendees thing that says speakers and click say hi to everybody. And whoever responds first or whoever responds is the people that you're going to connect with. Okay. But I want you guys to do that. Okay. I want you guys to networking, because networking is crucial. It's critical in this field, because that's what helped me. I network, and I don't mean networking just saying hi to people. I mean, like if you're at Starbucks, because stuff is starting to open back up a little bit. So if you're at Starbucks, say hello to that stranger that you see with a law book. Okay, that's how I made some of my networking connections. The reason why I got paid in January of 2019 was because this girl at Starbucks who was studying, and all I knew is that she had a law book. Okay, and I said hello. She told me about this judge that takes a chance on new women attorneys and wants to help them their first whatever. I never really got appointed again after that, but that's okay. She gave me my first check. And then the other thing that I did, I went to networking events. I went to this brunch. Now, y'all can't do brunches and all the other stuff now, but you can go to virtual networking events, okay? And when you do, I met one person who was from Alabama who gave me a full list of people in Alabama that I needed to call and use their name as a reference. And when I did, I ran into a great mentor. He's still a mentor for me to this day. And his name is Chris Burrell. He's really, really helped me. And then Alaric helped me a lot in general. So those people I'm going to shout out. I have Miss Cynthia, who's my neighbor, and things like that. But just keep that in mind. And Miss Andrea, who's a long-term family friend. I didn't have a lot of people, growing up that could tell me how to do it. And a lot of people didn't necessarily encourage me. But I think Miss Andrea was the only person in my life that told me it's okay. You can be a lawyer. It's not so saturated that you can't do it. So if you have that doubt or that fear, that's okay. Okay. It's not so saturated that you can't do it. You want to do intellectual property, take the time to learn, guys. Spend that year learning from intellectual property clinics or whatever else you can volunteer. All I did my first year was volunteer for civil help desk and things like that. That's how I learned how to probate, because all I wanted to do when I was in law school was be a criminal defense, specifically a federal criminal defense attorney. Okay, I wanted to work for the federal public defenders in Birmingham, Alabama. Eventually, I wanted to work as the federal public defender in Birmingham, Alabama. And that didn't work out, okay? I didn't get any opportunities for that specifically, okay? I was given a runaround at like the public defender's office. I was given job opportunities that weren't paying the salary that I thought I deserved, okay? I didn't want to get paid $25 an hour. I wanted to get paid $250 an hour. And when I started my firm, now that's what I do, okay? I get paid $250 an hour, okay? So that's what you have to demand, what it is you want. And I started all of my job interviews telling them that I needed remote work because I know that my family needs me XYZ and I can't do both. Okay. And look at me now. I got a remote work practice, right? And I am masterful at remote work stuff. And the people that laughed at me, laughed in my face, now they need help. Okay. Understanding how to run a remote work practice. So those are things to keep in mind. Like that is something that because even though people did not encourage me to have my practice, they told me to go get experience and all that, but they didn't have the experience for me to have. Okay. So when things don't work out, you keep pushing. Okay. So my first 2 years, y'all, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. But that first year, $80, that was rough because I didn't even make a profit. I didn't even make money. I literally couldn't even file anything for taxes that year because I made nothing. I made $80. It's not nothing. It counted. It was really important. Okay. Because one person believing you is all that counts. And then my second year, which was 2019, I actually made 5 figures. Okay. And then this year, okay, I'm on the route to making 6 figures. I'm on the route. Okay. Quote me now. But I'm on the route to making 6 figures. And that's my thing. Like, you got to invest in classes. I invest in a lot of courses that help me with marketing. I invest in a lot of people. I have a social media manager that kind of helps with some of my social media promotion because I cannot be everybody to everything. Okay. So I don't even run that stuff anymore. And that's the thing. I do it. I look at it. I go through it, but I run my own social media page. I like my social media page because I just get to talk to y'all. Okay. So I say all that to say that I did this presentation because I want you guys to know that I did all this stuff that I just told you before the age of 26. Okay. Did all of this before the age of 26. That is what I want you guys to remember, is that there is nothing preventing you from being able to do what it is that you are meant to do. Okay. And if there's anybody out there telling you that you can't do trademark or you can do intellectual property because you don't have enough experience, do you understand that I did this before age of 26? How much experience did I have in intellectual property? Okay, you don't have to have a ton of experience in intellectual property. You have to have a thirst for knowledge and learning. If you learn trademark law, okay, you can do very well. Okay, you can do very well. Now, I'm not going to do patent law, but that's where the money is. So if you want to know where the money is, go take STEM classes in undergrad. Okay, take a STEM master's graduate degree major while you're in law school. Do a dual program. Okay, but if you want to do that, make sure you do that for patent law because you have 2 bars to take. First, your state bar, and then 2, the patent bar. The patent bar is something that is completely separate from your state bar. Okay, so that's you. You want to make a ton of money? Cool. I don't want to do patents. Okay, there's certain things that I know that's my wheelhouse. I want to do trademarks. I want to help people with copyrights. I want to help people copyright their first book, because that's what I do. Okay, that's things that make me happy. Okay, I want to help people form their businesses. I want to do those things. And then at the end of the day, the reason why I even started business in the first place was to help children, okay? To help children follow dreams that adults might not speak life over when they were younger. So maybe that's you, okay? Maybe you have some kids in your life that you want to encourage, okay? And I told my kids from day one at the summer camp that I used to work at for 9 years that I was gonna be a lawyer, Okay, so if anybody goes and checks my credentials, I've been told them I was going to be a lawyer. And so if you got some kids that you want to inspire, things that you want to do in this world, just remember, there's a whole slew of people who actually do believe in you. There's a whole slew of people who are listening to you right now and telling you that you say things and you make things a lot easier for them to understand. And that's all that matters. If you make things easier for people to understand, you are qualified. Okay. Lawyers, that's all we do. We translate. We translate all the time. I'm translating to my clients, all this legalese into common sense. It's easy when you care about people just like you would want them to care about you. Okay, you would want someone to take the time to diligently comb through, because y'all got like a whole mind map. Like, I even show it to you. Look, I got a whole mind map of stuff. Mind map of everything that I took notes on just to get prepared for today, even though I know my stuff. Okay, I have a whole mind map of things because I wanted to make sure you got the most up-to-date knowledge. Okay, you do not know everything. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. But one thing I will do, and I promise a lot of people, is that I'll try. I'll try to find the answer. And that's something that you can do. And you can do that in law. You can do that with your new business. You can do that as a law student. You can continue to promise to try to learn. Try to learn new things. Try to challenge yourself. Push yourself past those hard spots. And if you are listening to this and you want to get into trademarks and things like that, stay tuned. Maybe I do something. You never know. But the only way you will connect, right, is if you make sure that you stay connected on, different mediums. I have something coming up next week for copyright. So it's called the Best Kept Secrets in Copyrights. It's another free event. Just come, okay? There's a sign-up link and the link in my bio for the firm, for my own personal bio. If you go to my Instagram, there's a link in my bio and you can literally sign up for that, okay? But I want you guys to remember this. You are the best gift that anybody in this world could have, okay? And I want you to remember that, okay? You are your best gift. You are the person, right, that makes everything like okay and awesome in this world. So don't ever shortchange yourself with things like GPA, numbers, how much money you're going to make, how many people believe in you, how many likes you have, how many followers you have. Don't do that to yourself. Don't kick yourself just for the sake of kicking yourself, because at the end of the day, trademarking, all of that is all about if you believe in yourself. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that your business can make $1 million one day? Because I do. I already believe. I pre-believe. I believe. But I can't believe for you. I can't make you believe. You got to go through that process yourself. You got to go through and listen to what's going on in your mind. All right. And then if you were someone who tuned in today and maybe you didn't comment, because for the people who commented, I can at least have the page message them. But if you did tune in today, shoot me a DM on Instagram and let me know you listened, okay? I can't send you nothing, no ops, no anything, if you don't let me know you was listening, okay? So my Instagram is right there. If you need to know my email or whatever, it's my first and last name, ESQ, no spaces, no periods, no nothing. So it's Neenas Story, ESQ, how it appears on the screen, okay? Neenas Story, ESQ at gmail.com. It's so simple, okay? And y'all know this, it's at gmail.com. It's not at my law firm, because I believe in making sure that you save money for your business, okay? My first 5 years, okay? First 5 years of business, I'm not spending a bunch of money on things, okay? And you don't have to either. But you know what you do have to do? You have to think about, what intellectual property do I one day want to own? And where do I want to be in about 5, 6, 10 years? Okay, think about those things. Let me know what you thought about this. If this really was like the most helpful thing you've ever heard, great, let me know. If it was like, Neena, you suck, girl, sit down, also let me know. I'm here either way, okay? So I'm going to tune out. I gave you a few little extra minutes of tidbits. If you tuned in today and you stayed all the way to the very, 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 very end, I want to reward you guys. So go ahead and send me a direct message, right? And I will send you a free download of something that I created to kind of help business owners put together their trademark stuff in a meaningful and purposeful way, okay? I want you to be your best self. I want you to do everything that you wanted to with your business, but I also want you to get into intellectual property law if that is your goal in your life, okay? So I will send you something that I made directly just for my clients, okay? just for you. So just send me a message, direct message me your email, send it to 205-490-8068 and say, hey, I want that thing you was talking about on the Neena Trademark That Thursday's presentation. Okay, so go ahead and let me know and tell your friends, trademark that. It's Thursday. That's what we do. Thank you so much. I'm going to outro with the last video and then I will be closing out officially. If you do have questions, comments, feedback, please. I love feedback. It always helps me. So keep that in mind and then we're going to close out. So I'm going to have one more commercial. People don't get to see these. Only the people who tune in on the lives, okay?
When you start your business, you should be able to focus on one thing, growth. But most times we're worried about the paperwork. Don't stress about the business protection. You grow your business. Let me take care of the rest. Call Neena, our Spear Law Firm today. You can reach us at 205-490-8068 or neenaspearesq@gmail.com.
Awesome. That's why I had my Starbucks. I just had to pose Starbucks. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, please, please give me feedback. Let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you kind of liked it, all of those things. But I love y'all. I really do. And the fact that you tuned in today means that you care a lot about your business. So until next time, bye guys.